A torch-wielding burglar entered this Logan Square pot shop just days after dispensaries began selling recreational marijuana in Illinois. Chicago police say it appears to be an inside job, the suspect using a keycard to get in. A law enforcement source tells the I-Team a dumbwaiter was used to access the vault, then a torch to break into the safe. An estimated $200,000 swiped. The surveillance video deleted.
So, Owen, have you heard this story?
Which one?
Hi, I'm Waleed,
I'm Owen.
and this is the Staying Blunt podcast, brought to you by not brought to you by Verizon. We don't have any sponsors yet.
I feel like if we had a sponsor, it would be Verizon. It'd be more like Mint Mobile or some shit. Some cheap.
Some cheap ass shit. See, I say Verizon, because, our school apparently
It's T-Mobile.
doesn't have money for mathematics, but we got money for fucking iPads and Verizon.
Uh-huh.
That's priorities, baby. Bradley University. There's a reason why we don't have any mathematicians.
There is a reason.
So instead of just making fun of Bradley, this episode, based on what we just heard, is more about security. Why do you feel like it's so secretive?
Because of the laws, man. Even I'm scared to talk about it on this podcast. I'm gonna get fired or some shit. I don't know. It's just the laws, how it's written, and the NDAs that are signed are very intense.
So they have you sign NDAs?
Yeah, when you get hired, you sign an NDA about you don't want to disclose anything bad about the business and everything. I mean, I'm starting at a new place yet, so I haven't really signed anything, but it's pretty crazy, honestly. The restrictions that Illinois has, the opening restrictions and everything, that's basically what I'm going through, so.
I was in Michigan.
Yeah.
There was more of there's a lack of security presence there, which is very notable.
So there's good signs and bad sides, especially being in Peoria, not the safest place on earth. Having that security presence is nice, but you got to realize so many security guards that are hired, they aren't security guards. When I worked at the other dispensary, we had pregnant ladies as our security guards daily. Is that secure in a perfect world? Not necessarily, but if something were to go down, you would like to have a security guard that knows what they're doing.
And I mean, especially since the business is very much cash heavy.
Yes.
That's all that y'all are dealing with pretty much on the daily.
Over time, they've tried to adopt more cards, but it's been phased in and out so many times that, I mean, personally, I always recommend cash because it's easier. There's no fees. If you were to pay a card, there's definitely going to be fees. But doing that, you open yourself up to that safety issue, carrying around $200, $300, even $100, $200, $300, $400 is unsafe most of the time.
Right, and it's a dispensary, if you were a criminal, would be the perfect spot because it's you're back in the Great Depression. Everybody has cash. Pretty much an open season for pickpockets.
Yeah, I would say the thing that really deters people is the the cameras and how fast the cops would respond because there's tons of security measures inside that I don't know if I want to talk about, but just insta call the cop button, pretty much. That's basically what it is. People are threatened a lot, and most of the time people are all talk, but if something would go down, fuck. I don't know.
Illinois has strict security requirements from seed to sale.
We have the ability to monitor the movements of the plant. We can monitor the movement of the cash back to the vault, which is part of a requirement. After hours, all cannabis product and cash has to be stored in a reinforced vault.
Video surveillance is a key component of the security plan. These systems can cost up to $200,000.
It's required by the state that everybody has a video surveillance.
They have to have, panic alarms, glass break sensors. They have to have bulletproof glass in certain areas. They need to have an on-site security guard.
That's a lot of security.
Yeah, the cameras are probably the biggest thing that the state is worried about and they enforce. They love their cameras. They want to see themselves pretty much. They don't trust nobody else. I feel like that's basically what it's implying too.
So like there's cameras everywhere, a bunch of people sitting in the front. There's two things of locked doors that you have to like buzz
Yep.
into.
Yep.
There's a security guard waiting there.
Yep.
And from all the dispensaries you've been to, has that been the case?
Yeah, basically the law is kind of like there needs to be like a forefront before you get to like the sales floor area. So like you need to have like that, like the product, even like during the day, needs to be locked off from just like anyone just walking in. Can't just go open the door and get to the sales floor. You need an employee needs to buzz you in, and someone who has access to that door, which is just like the main door. But and then there's even more doors that employees don't have access to that only management has access to. It does go with the flaw that was mentioned in this. That is crazy. Someone hacks in and like gets like a management buzz and like goes at like just the right time. Like they're all game. Like if they can somehow get the cameras off, something like that too, easy.
Right, and it's like how would you even know? Like it had to have been an inside job.
Oh, for sure.
It's
'Cause
like
I don't think. I mean, normal employee, we're not really allowed to take our stuff home, like our badges. We have to leave it there. So it's like, it had to have been an inside job. Someone wanted a lot of money.
Illinois State Police inspect dispensaries to ensure security guidelines required by state law are being followed. The Department of Financial and Professional Regulation enforces rules surrounding the marijuana industry. Citing security concerns, they denied our interview request. Contrast Illinois' secretiveness with access given to the I-Team in Colorado 5 years ago when they invited us to report on marijuana security training. Since January 1st, the I-Team has had to observe Illinois security on our own as trucks deliver products and pick up cash from area dispensaries. We also spotted local police patrolling the area. Not everyone was happy to see us.
No, I'm
I
fine.
can't have you recording vehicles coming in and out of our facility.
why does Illinois have such like a weird vibe to it?
Money. It's
Yeah.
all about the money. Yeah, pretty much. Even like, yeah, if you really just go into cannabis in Illinois, it's just all about the money. They kind of set it up that way. Like Illinois has like the least amount of competition by far, even in other states where prices are high like Illinois. Just the competition, the lack of availability for smaller growers and smaller competitors to like put their foot in the door and actually make like a difference is hard. But I mean, they're doing it. Like there's brands that have 5,000 square feet is like the limit for craft growers right now in Illinois.
Okay.
Compared to Green Thumb Industries, they have multiple locations, and I think at one of their locations, if I'm not wrong, this is off the top of my head of what I heard, they have about 150,000 square feet to make product. So that's like a kitchen where you need to do extraction for like edibles and vapes and everything else. Then you need to have like so many different rooms for flower where you need to cure it, dry it. Where there's like different like stages of flowering. Like when like they're babies, they need to be kept in a certain like area, certain temperatures, and just like having that advantage is crazy over these smaller competitors. So what these smaller competitors are doing, are almost forced to do, is partner with larger corporations almost from other states and even in-state to help make their product and help get things done, because it's damn near impossible to make money in Illinois if you're not backed by someone with millions of dollars.
So
to
you
start
can't
a
have
business.
like a mom and pop shop.
No.
You know,
It's very restricted access. Even buying cannabis. Like if you go to a dispensary, out of state limits, you can only buy a half ounce if you're from out of state. Compared to other states like Michigan, where anyone like with a valid ID can go in there and buy 2.5 ounces at a time. Just the systems are so different, and it's really interesting if you get to look into it more.
so you brought up Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan is such a fun place to get weed.
Oh man, it's a
Like-
blast.
I went to Michigan over break, and when I tell you, I went with a bunch of friends, and we just made a day of it.
Yeah, man.
We walked into like 4 different dispensaries,
that's the way to do it.
hopped on weed maps, and just
Yeah.
like followed the best deal.
Yes.
Like weed pilgrims, you know, searching for a better high.
Yeah.
And we hopped to the first dispensary, walked in, smiles on everybody's faces, popped out the ID real quick. There's like a nice little like comfort spot. Like, they want you to chill out there. Like, Illinois doesn't have that vibe yet.
No,
I don't feel
Illinois
like.
is very. They kind of want to make it like a grocery store. You can't look at smell any flour. You can't really look at any product. We can't open anything up and show anything to you. So it's really, they make it really hard to have an enjoyable experience. They kind of want you in and out. That's why pre-orders are so heavily influenced in Illinois. That's why, like, the wages are pretty bad. Like, I mean, it's like not really hard to be a bud tender, which is sad because I want to spread so much knowledge, and that's basically what the goal is. But Illinois has it set up where you're a cashier. Almost.
Right, because we're not focused on the experience. We're focused on
Doing
give me the
everything
product,
right.
give me the money.
Yeah.
We're focused on the capitalist.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
a
Make
profit
as
turning.
much money as you can versus
And I,
spreading the joy and love of cannabis in Illinois.
and I feel like that's a overwhelming theme in, you know, the corporatization
Oh, yeah.
of Illinois cannabis.
Yeah.
Everything is for the dollar bill. Dollar bill, y'all.
And if something were to go wrong, then they can track those dollar bills. You know, they don't want any mistakes, and if they have mistakes, they want them covered up. And yeah, dispensaries will get fined for mistakes and stuff like that.
Which ultimately may be the reason why they don't want to talk to anybody and would rather keep that completely private.
Yeah, because they're rude. They're ignorant.
They're
and
mean.
rude.
I don't like
They're
them.
meanie pies.
That's not right.
Yeah,
what
I
you're
don't want to
doing.
go into no slander, but I can call them mean. That's not slander.
That's not slander. And, you know, allegedly. They're allegedly meanies.
Yeah, I can even say that to even throw a little cushion under my head
Exactly.
so I can sleep at night and not get sued by Illinois. I don't want to get fired. I like my job. I love selling weed to people. I love spreading, giving knowledge because I fucking gave so much knowledge to so many old folks and so many young folks that come in. And that's basically the goal of it, but Illinois makes it hard.
See, and they made $1 billion like last
yeah.
year, or like more than $1 billion last year
Yeah.
in sales.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up because
Yeah.
you think about where that money's going. It's not going to the communities. Like what they did in
Supposedly.
oh yeah, bullshit. Like
Yeah.
what they did in Denver, right? They reinvested it into communities that got fucked over during the drug war.
Yeah.
I mean,
It really
we're
doesn't seem like they're doing that.
we're still not fully legalized nationally.
No.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Like Illinois has not done any reinvestment into the most underserved communities,
No.
and we're not even doing like equity correctly. We
Yeah.
literally have lawsuits in our courts about whether or not like veteran incentives pretty much took over the racial equity incentives because they were forced into the legislation.
Yeah.
Numerous legislators refused to sign the bill into action unless there was an additional points added to the system
Yeah.
for veterans specifically. And what ended up being the deciding factor between all the applications that got in to the lottery was being perfect. So if you had a 245 because you weren't a veteran out of the 250 points, right?
Yeah.
Then you weren't even thought about.
Super nitpicky bullshit.
So it's only this select amount of individuals that get to even have this.
Yeah.
You had to have a perfect score
Yeah.
in order for you to even get into the lottery to grow.
Yeah. When I tell you, like, these licenses that are handing out compared to the ones that are already owned by these billion-dollar MSOs, multi-state operators, boy, it is like 15 times. Like the 5 to what? They probably have 2-3 locations, GTI does. Oh my god. It is wild. Illinois, behind the scenes, they do a lot of, the brands at least, they do, I don't know if I can say this. They sell fucking flour to each other and rename it. So let's say I'm Cresco, and then over here we got GTI, which is Rhythm. They're like, hey, we've got way too much wedding cake. Okay? We don't want to have this much wedding cake. It's just going to sit on the shelf if we have this much. Cresco's like, okay, we'll buy it for X, And then, hey, we have so much of this. We have so much of this Pineapple Express. We have so much. You want some?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll take it. Oh, we can't name it the same, though, because people are going to pick up on that. Oh, I'll just name it fucking Sour Diesel. Oh, okay. I'll name the wedding cake Animal...
Baklava.
Baklava. That's a literal strain. Baklava.
Right.
They could do whatever the hell they want. And there's no laws against that. But there's so many laws against so much other fucking shit that doesn't let people who grow actually quality cannabis who would sell it at a good rate in the market. It's just wild to me that all this fucking bullshit happens in the back end. Nothing is done about it because they're following their rules. They're making them their money.
They're making so much money, and we're not even thinking about not only the customer experience. We could be expanding our
quality of the
consumer
product.
base
Yeah.
by allowing the products to not be taxed out the ass.
Dude, people go from a legal state, Illinois, to Michigan because they don't want to buy product here.
Yeah.
It's like crazy what cannabis is kind of doing, especially in the Midwest. It's wild. Like there's a few illegal states, and then there's a few legal states, and people are just like, just skirting through them. You know, they're just having a good time.
Just a nice little road trip.
Yeah, and with Missouri and Ohio recently legalizing, Illinois should give them a punch in the gut because Missouri's doing it right. I can tell you that. This is what I challenge you. If you smoke weed, go look at 2 dispensary menus and count on your hands how many brands you see, and then if you really go into that and kind of break it down, it's probably not more than 10, if that. I'd be surprised if more than 15 brands on a menu. I mean, they're gonna have sub brands, but that's literally the same people making that money.
Like what's a brand that's well known?
Yeah,
that
has sub brands,
has a bunch of other sub brands.
Okay, let's start with Arise. So they've got their Rise. They're like a white label brand, AERIZ. They have 93 Boys. This is all flower. 93 Boys, Fig Farms, Up North, and Days Off. Okay. And that's just as of now. And they are still expanding. That's just in flower. They probably have all those brands in vapes, concentrates, edibles. Just think of how expanded the market is and how much, how many products they're making.
That's just one.
Think of how many brands those are. Those are how many brands a social equity license could have, and they could make that money. They could sell that, make them produce that product for a similar price, if not a better product, because it's not mass produced like they're doing.
Right.
I don't know. It's just really frustrating when you really get into it and see how much product is just the same. It's all the same in Illinois. You go to Michigan, you're going to see different brands at every menu, damn near. You're going to find worse quality in Michigan, but I mean, that's just because there are so many brands. You're just going to...
Right,
you're eventually going to run into it. I mean, no, but that's just how it should be, though. There should be I don't know, it's a
right, if we're going to be
market.
doing capitalism, let's not be doing this socialism for the wealthy thing that we're doing in Illinois.
Yeah.
I know that's how capitalism usually happens.
Yeah.
But hey, how about we have a little bit of laissez-faire activities here?
Dope, man.
Let the market run this shit.
That'd be dope.
It's if we're forced to live in this dogma, then how about we run it right? So how about we have small businesses that are able to get licenses without having to pay tens of thousands of dollars in fees to get it.
Millions. Sorry.
I mean,
hundreds of thousands, damn near millions. Almost.
Please correct me.
Yeah,
No.
I'm just be for real, because it's crazy.
Right.
It's wild.
People don't have that money.
No.
It's how about we expand this so we can proliferate licenses to people who want it, people who care. Let's set up educational resources and not have to literally sign their soul to the fucking devil to, sell, la lechuga de diablo,
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've said that a million times, but it's really, talking about it more in depth every time. I talk about it all the time, at least a few times a week. Every time I get pissed off, every time I'm like, and there's nothing I can do, man. I'm a little fucking pawn. They're moving me around. They got me slicing down. I feel bad almost doing my job. Which is crazy. I love my job, and I almost feel bad doing it.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? Remember that documentary I had you watch?
Oh, yeah.
On HBO?
Yeah. Marketers?
Telemarketers.
Telemarketers, yeah.
Where, they are literally...
Are you comparing me to them?
No, I mean, kind of. So, I mean, if you think about it a little bit, like, we all kind of have to deal with that. Like, I feel like the reason why that documentary, so for people who don't know, it's a documentary about these two guys who worked for this telemarketing agency that ended up being pretty much run as like the greatest scamming organization ever.
Yeah.
Pretty much if you have those like "We support police" stickers or like the
Fraternal Order Police
Yeah.
shit and like other kind of like firemen, whatever else is there.
fireman charity,
They
hut.
even did like the forest police. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
The forest people said, "I want some of that money."
So yeah, so what ends up happening is they find out that like 10% or less goes to like the actual charity, 90% goes to this organization that pretty much is just scam calling your grandparents.
Yeah.
So like, but I say this to compare because like when shit is so like corporate, so capitalist like this, like you have no option as a worker but to just feel like, I guess I have to deal with this. Just like let the evil just like keep going. Just like let it flow through you, because like you can't accept how crushing the reality is. Like I feel like it's not in just this industry, but like it's in a lot of the industry.
Oh, yeah.
People work for.
It's like Illinois cannabis is like a representation of corporate America almost.
Because like we're at the ground floor of
I
an
know.
industry, right? We get to like literally see up close what happens.
This is a new industry.
Right. We get to see what happens up close,
Yeah.
like, and once it gets federally legalized, whenever Joe Byron wants to do anything, like besides give money to, Israel.
Is he running for president again?
Yeah, he is. Him and his three
So
fucking brain
who's his
cells.
VP? It's Kamala Harris, right?
Oh, it is? I haven't seen her since she got locked in Guantanamo Bay. Like, where has she been?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. First,
I was
woman of
just-
color
yeah.
vice president, and she has been the quietest motherfucker since she said, "Do not come," like a fucking Redditor. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Oh my god! Don't even talk to me about like.
Well, no, I'm just saying that because that motherfucker could die.
I mean, yeah, no.
Or like, what happens? Like, he's already a puppet. So is she gonna be a puppet too? Probably, right? I mean, everyone's a puppet.
I mean, they are. I mean, if we're talking about capitalism, who are their top donors? How many PACs have donated to their campaigns? There's a reason why they don't ever talk shit about Wall Street. There's a reason why they don't put any caps on Wall Street. There's a reason why they don't have any taxes on the ultra wealthy, because they don't make their money the way that normal people do by wages.
Yeah.
They make it by taking out loans on the equity they already have. I think what's so funny is that like this is a game that is so much higher, and if we were to explain it, it would take 1,000 episodes,
Yeah.
which is why this is a podcast, and this is why,
Keep rolling, man.
you know,
as much as we can sit here and talk your head off about corporate America, corporate cannabis, stuff like that, it'll keep going. I mean, it's sad we gotta end it, but it'll keep going. I mean, the conversation will continue another day.
absolutely.
That's all I can say.
And at the end of
And
shit,
at the end of the
bars.
day, and at the end of the day,
And at the end of the day, we will
we will not look like Bobby Flay.
cause we're moving in our own way.
Yeah. Eating some lay. This is
Wait, what the fuck? Like Lay's chips?
yeah.
Eating some Lays, hoping we stop looking like Happy Days.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let me just go with it. Wait, get beatbox for me real quick. Yeah. Cannabis, I can't miss my shot. I feel like Jordan. Yeah, exposing all the orphans. Exposed to the game, trying to legislate away the pain of the community. That's why a brother never gonna get a legislative agenda passed in that house. I mean, damn, can a nigga get a what the fuck was that? I was about to talk about an application. Wiki. See, this is how I know. So maybe what the audience doesn't know is that we smoked a joint as we have been talking.
Yeah, and a couple eddies.
A couple.
And
yeah.
the eddies always hit O in a different way than a joint does. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel that. It's
Just-
like when you add it on top of it.
So a little cannabis science for you.
Ooh.
When you eat THC,
Cannabis science facts.
When you eat THC, like in an edible, it breaks down into your liver, and it produces into a whole new thing. That's not just THC. It's like D11 THC.
Yo, what the
Delta 11 THC, which is a whole nother.
Isn't that the group Eminem was in?
D11?
Yeah, D11.
Yes, Eminem's THC.
Yo.
Yeah. So basically, it hits
Mom
you in a whole
spaghetti.
different way. So like, if you're used to smoking all the time, and you're like, "Damn, smoking doesn't get me high," pop a few edibles. It's different.
Edibles be hitting different.
It's different. This has been.
The Stay in Blunt podcast.
My name is Owen.
My name's Waleed.
Thank y'all for listening. I'll see you next week.
Peace.